Hello dear students, greetings of the day. I, Muhammad Zishan, welcome you to the online classes of Blooming Birds Code School Sambal. Dear students, today we are going to have the third lecture of chapter 6, the rock. In last lecture, we studied about sedimentary rocks. We studied about sedimentary rocks, and in that we studied about classification of sedimentary rocks, the process involved and their classification, mechanically formed, chemically formed, organically formed, and we studied the classification of sedimentary rocks on the basis of agents of formation like rivers, glaciers, or air. So we have studied about the riverine rocks which are formed by the flowing water bodies, and we studied about lacustrine rocks which are formed in the lakes, and then we studied about the glacial rocks which are formed uh, by the moving glaciers. So these three, lacustrine, glacial, as well as riverine rocks, are also called together argillaceous or aqueous rocks because water is involved in this. Then we studied uh, about the aeolian rocks, the rocks which are formed by the transportation of sediments by air, and then marine rocks. Marine rock is also the part of glacious rocks. So we have studied about igneous rocks, about sedimentary rocks. Now we will study about metamorphic rocks. So, dear students, metamorphic rocks, metamorphic word has been derived from a word, Latin word metamorphose, right? Metamorphose means change in form. Morph means form, okay? Morphology, right? So, metamorphose means the change in form. So, a rock when the form is changed from one form to another form under pressure and heat, so that is called metamorphic rock. Like if clay is changed into slate, right? Then under pressure or heat, then it will be called metamorphic rock. Likewise, limestone, okay, limestone, which is a sedimentary rock. If limestone is the form of limestone is changed because of temperature and pressure, and that is changed into what? Into marble, then it will be called what? It will be called metamorphic rock. So limestone, when limestone is given more pressure and temperature, then that is changed into marble, right? So its form has been changed, so that is called metamorphic rock. So the word metamorphic is derived from metamorphose, which means change in form. Metamorphism refers to the alteration of the composition or structure of a rock by heat, pressure, or natural agency, right? So if there is a change in the composition of a rock, whether it is sedimentary rock or it is igneous rock or it is already a metamorphic rock, okay, if the rock is the form of rock is getting changed without disintegration and decomposition, rock remain at its own place, okay, and because of the pressure and temperature, if the form of that rock is getting changed without disintegration and decomposition, then that newly formed rock is called metamorphic rock. Clear? So now we are having few characteristics of metamorphic rocks. So first characteristic is that it is very hard and compact. The molecules are very tightly packed in this, okay, and Then second is it is impermeable. Impermeable means water cannot seep through it or percolate through it. Water cannot enter into it. Okay, cannot go through it. That is impermeable. It doesn't permit the entry of water. Then fossils are not found in metamorphic rocks. And if a sedimentary rock is changing its form and becoming a metamorphic rock, then also the fossils are, you can say, decomposed. Okay, fossils are destroyed during the formation of metamorphism. Clear? So these are the some of the characteristics of metamorphic rocks. Metamorphic rocks are formed due to change in texture and composition. The texture and composition of pre-existing rocks is changed, and the new materials are formed during the process of metamorphism. Now, after studying the characteristics, we will study about the types of metamorphic rocks. So there are three types: thermal metamorphism, dynamic metamorphism, and regional metamorphism. So thermal metamorphism, when a rock change its form from one type of rock to the another type of rock, right, due to the action of high temperature, and that is called thermal metamorphism. Okay, when because of high temperature a rock, right, or an original rock change its composition and texture, change its form, right, because of the high temperature, then that type of metamorphism is called thermal metamorphism. So thermal metamorphism is related to the high temperature. Like clay, when clay uh, undergoes high temperature, then it change into slate. Likewise, coal. Okay, coal is again a sedimentary rock, organic sedimentary rock. So when this coal, which is a sedimentary rock, is undergone into a high temperature, then it gets changed into graphite. Okay, graphite, which is very compact and hard type of rock. So this is called thermal metamorphism, right? So here it is given: thermal metamorphism occurs when the transformation of original rock takes place due to the influence of high temperature. When the transformation of original rock takes place due to the influence of high temperature. Uh, then after that we are having dynamic metamorphism. So dynamic metamorphism is associated with pressure. Dynamic metamorphism is associated with pressure. So when an original rock change its form because of the pressure, then that type of rock is called dynamic metamorphism. So dynamic metamorphism occurs when the transformation takes place mainly because of pressure at a great depth within the earth crust. Okay, so that is dynamic metamorphism. So dynamic metamorphism takes place when an original rock undergoes high pressure, right? Dolomite, dolomite is given high pressure, then it changes into marble. Okay, so here we are getting we also get marble from limestone. Okay, we also get marble from limestone, and we are also getting marble from dolomite. Clear? So now we have understood two types of metamorphism, which are basically taught at the school levels. Okay, but at university levels, the regional metamorphism and contact metamorphism are taught. Okay, so regional metamorphism is given there, right? So but you should remember these two: thermal metamorphism and dynamic metamorphism, right? Thermal metamorphism takes place when an original rocks undergoes high temperature. Dynamic metamorphism takes place when an original rocks undergoes high pressure, like example dolomite and marble. Now in this one term I have written foliation. So in your book it is given dynamic metamorphism occurs when the transformation takes place mainly because of pressure at a great depth within the earth's crust. Chemically active hot gases while passing through the rocks change their chemical composition. Under condition of this change, minerals get arranged in a series of bands known as foliation. Right. So what is foliation? Let me explain you what is foliation. So suppose if uh, foliation, and in next lecture you will in next classes you will study exfoliation in weathering. When a rock is disintegrated in the form of layers, like suppose this is a rock and this one layer of rock is peeled off, this one layer is peeled off, okay, and it becomes like this. Then this one layer is peeled off like you peel off onion, that way. If a disintegration of a rock is taking place, right, in the form of layers, clear, like suppose this is a rock here, and what is happening, this much layer is getting exfoliated, disintegrated, and then this is getting disintegrated, right, and then this is getting disintegrated. So at last what we will get, at last we will get this much rock, okay, this much remaining portion. So this rock has been peeled off layered by layer, okay. So this process is called exfoliation. When disintegration of a rock takes place layer by layer, like it is getting peeled off just like an onion, that is called exfoliation, okay. Then this is exfoliation, and antonym of exfoliation is foliation. So what will be the meaning of foliation? Its opposite. What? Its opposite. When because of high pressure, okay, from this side or this side, okay, if the crust is moving towards each other, or because of the pressure of overlying rocks, right, what is happening, if a rock is getting compacted and bent like this, okay, layered by layer, and a new rock is getting formed, okay, so that is called foliation. Means कि when the pre-existing rocks undergoes tremendous pressure and they move towards each other, bending, okay, right, or because of not only of that, if because of the friction which is undergoing because of the pressure, right, friction takes place, and because of the frictions hot gases are generated, and what happens then, those hot gases do chemical changing in there, okay, and what happens, the material of the rocks get layered, okay, particular types of minerals will be layered here in this one, okay, another type of mineral will be layered here in this one layer, and third type of minerals will be layered in this layer, okay. So they are band, okay, and in a series of band they are adjusted, okay, just like layers. So that is called what, that is called foliation. I hope you would have understood what is the meaning of foliation. So foliation is a phenomenon which takes place in dynamic metamorphism. Then the last thing which we will study is regional metamorphism. Now regional metamorphism This metamorphism takes entire region into account, okay, like Gondwana region, okay, when uh, the formation of mountains takes place, okay. Suppose if how formation of mountains takes place, by faulting and by folding. So suppose if folding is going on, this is some region, very vast region, okay, maybe entire north India, okay. So what happens if the earth crust, the tectonic plate, one tectonic plate is moving this side and another tectonic plate is moving this side, right? Now what will happen because of this movement, this will be crumbled like this, okay, it will be crumbled like this, and downside also it will be crumbled this way, right? So this was the surface. Now what has happened, because of the movement of tectonic plates, because of the convergence of tectonic plates, what is happening, the surface is getting crumbled like this, upside and downside, okay. Now this one is going subducing downside also, and it is coming very closer to what, it is coming very closer to mantle, right? This we are studying, this is until here, this is crust, okay, this is crust, clear, till 30 km, right? And downside there may be what, there may be mantle, okay, there will be mantle asthenosphere, clear. So here it is very hot. So when this is very hot, right, when this is very hot, what will happen, this will also experience heat. So this entire region, this one region will become very very hot, okay. And the rocks which were existing here, the rocks which were existing, like suppose if there was igneous rock, okay, here at this line igneous rocks were there, okay, here these rocks were igneous rocks, clear. Now what will happen, these rocks, these igneous rocks will experience heat, okay, right, and these will change their form, right, and will become metamorphic rocks, clear. Likewise the pressure is being exerted, okay, this side, right, pressure is being exerted this side P1, and pressure is getting being exerted this side also, and the pressure is also being exerted downside from the overlying layers, okay, clear. And this region will experience, okay, tremendous pressure, right, this will experience tremendous pressure. So the rocks which are here, okay, which are here, these rocks, whether there are sedimentary rocks here or whether there are igneous rocks, any rocks, if they are experiencing what, tremendous pressure, then again because of the pressure what will happen, their form will be changed, okay, their form will be changed, clear, and they will become what, a metamorphic rocks, means they have changed their form, they have been metamorphized, okay, clear. So here what is happening here, this metamorphism is taking place in entire region, right, in entire region. Suppose this is North India, okay, so in entire North India, right, clear, or at some entire continent levels, okay, so that even at continents also, so that type of metamorphism, right, is called regional metamorphism. In this we get you can say abundance amount of metamorphized rocks, okay, over an area or region, entire region, clear. So these three types of metamorphism we have studied. We have studied about thermal metamorphism, we have studied about dynamic metamorphism, we have studied about regional metamorphism. Okay, now what else is given in your book? Let me check. अच्छा, local or contact metamorphism is going. Yes, when small area is affected by this metamorphism, then that type of metamorphism is called local or contact metamorphism. Okay, you have to just remember that. It happens when a rock comes under the contact of heat, and a rock can come under the contact of heat when the volcanic eruption is taking place. Okay, so when volcanic eruptions takes place at a place, okay, and the rocks which are present there already, those rocks come in contact to that lava, right, to that heat of volcano, then they change their form and become metamorphized or metamorphized. Metamorphism takes place, right, and that type of metamorphism is called contact or regional metamorphism. Contact or regional metamorphism. Okay, here very not sorry, regional, local metamorphism. Contact or local metamorphism. So this is taking place locally. Clear? So I have told you this thing also, right? When it takes place, when the original rocks come in contact of lava, right, over a place, over a locality, right, and change their form, that is called contact or local metamorphism. Now, what is the economic significance of rocks? That's the last topic. Okay, so like minerals, rocks are of great resource value, some directly and some as constituents of minerals. So from rocks, what do we get? Minerals, and from minerals we extract various elements, okay, which are very much useful to us. Okay, either maybe metal or non-metal. Okay, then after that, soils are derived from weathering of rocks. Now, how do we get soil? Soil is formed by weathering of rock. When a rock is disintegrated, right, is weathered, then the small pieces of those rocks get mixed with the humus, right, and soil is formed where plants grow. Okay, and it moves the wheel of life. Then third is almost all type of building materials used for paving roads, floors or building walls of houses or various other structure including bridge comes from rock. So all the all the solid material comes from rock. Even as I have told you that in your kitchen you use what? Granite. At your floor you use marble. Okay, so marble, granite, all these things are made from where? From are obtained by rocks only. And some things you drive also, like we have studied that soil is formed by weathering of rocks. So when soil is formed, then the soil is heated at very high temperature and brick is formed. Okay, and that brick is used for making houses. Okay, so directly and indirectly everything is based on rocks. We can say, okay, the things which are required, okay, for our living, we got all these things from earth only. Okay, we are having resources uh, at mother earth only, right, and we make a proper use of those things and make them resource for us. Clear? Now after that, we are having rocks are a source of precious metal like gold, silver, platinum, etc. Okay, apart from minerals and fossil fuels, even rock waste have now been used in manufacturing various articles. So uh, we extract coal, we extract petroleum, and when we extract petroleum from the rocks, then even the leftover part is used to make wax. Okay, and likewise when we extract various other minerals or elements from rocks, then the leftover part is also used. Okay, then okay, that's all. That was about the rocks. Rock cycle has been removed from the syllabus, so I will not teach you. Thank you so much.